Hey guys, it's postboxpat. Welcome back to a brand new Fortnite Battle Royale video, and today we're going to be talking about all the information regarding what's going to be coming in the 10.2 content update. So we've got some really interesting stuff. Obviously we've had a lot of leaks at the start of the update which happened last week, so there's a bunch of information and the changelog and stuff like that which will be coming out. So much to talk about, but if you guys are new around here, smash that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and don't forget to go and enter in code postboxpat into the item shop. Comment down below code postboxpat and your Epic Games name, and I'll be sure to add a bunch of you guys and gift a bunch of stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and thank you everyone who's been doing that. I'm going to be giving you guys a shout out in tomorrow's map change video, so if you want a chance to get in the shout out, tweet me or send it on my Discord in the media section. I'll be adding in a bunch from both sections in tomorrow's video where you guys can earn a shout out. Anyway, let's get straight into this and talk a little bit further about the details we have regarding the upcoming changes. So first off, we have the beacon at Fatal Fields. It's pretty obvious that this beacon has activated, and it is most likely going to change when the update comes out tomorrow morning. Now in this update there's going to be a bunch of stuff. For those wondering about the changelog, if you're watching this video tomorrow, I will link the changelog down below in the comment section so you guys can press on it and go straight to the changelog if you want to see that. But other than that, just listen through because I've got a bunch of information. So the update itself is obviously going to be at 8 AM ET, so a little bit later in the UK unfortunately for us, but for the New York people based in the Eastern time zone, that side of the world, you guys are perfect. 8 AM wake up and you'll be sorted with the Fortnite update. So what can we expect? Well, obviously we know, we can see on screen right now that the beacon is ready to go at Fatal Fields. It will be a rip to Fatal Fields. Some very sad information right there, guys. I'm going to be sad when Fatal Field goes, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will be too. Fatal Fields has been my favorite location in Fortnite Battle Royale since probably day one. I used to land here all the time. I used to love the house, and I love the way the fields are overgrown, and you can use them fields to hide if you need to, run away, escape, ambush players. There's just so much you can use them fields for, and that's what's really good about Fatal. And now Fatal's going to be changed slightly, obviously because we know that the beacon's here. What's going to happen here? Well, I don't exactly know, or do I? So last week there was a leak. Now in that leak we saw that the cube itself was added in to Fatal Fields over in the distance. You can see the screenshot on screen right now. This kind of tells us that the beacon is probably going to bring back our one and only beloved Kevin the Cube is going to return to Fortnite Battle Royale, which would be absolutely amazing. So I'm going to switch the gameplay over to some Kevin the Cube gameplay back from season 6 to potentially where or when this could actually happen. So what I mean by that is when the beacon teleports us back, which point in time is it going to take us to, and it could be this point. So I'm playing a bit of that for you guys right now. You can see some interesting stuff. We've obviously got the cube itself, we've got a few other bits and bobs at Fatal, completely different to the way Fatal was. Obviously it's on the outer skirts of Fatal, which it kind of is in this screenshot as well, but it does also look like the farm is being lifted up in this screenshot. I don't know if that just could be because it's going to be a loading screen in game and it'll look cool as a loading screen, or if that's actually going to happen. We don't 100% know. We've got to consider that the update is actually going to be a content update, so regarding huge map changes and huge changes, it's quite unlikely that we will get that. I think seeing a huge map change in the content update probably might not happen. Like, you know, the cube itself might not even come out tomorrow. It may come out on Wednesday or Thursday, or may even come out next week. We don't 100% know yet if this is going to happen tomorrow, but we can confirm at some point we will get the cube back, because obviously it's in the files. You can see some gameplay here from Fort Tory with the cube as well, which is absolutely awesome. So there's a lot of information regarding the cube itself. It's just knowing when, where and how this cube is going to come back. Most of us YouTubers though are assuming that it's going to come back tomorrow. I do think it will happen with this beacon, but I feel like it's a bit early. It only just activated the rift in the sky, so maybe it might be later this week, maybe next week. I feel like Fortnite is taking a very long time with some of its updates. They're being very slow recently, so delaying stuff even further could be pretty bad for the community, but you know, doesn't really matter. We're absolutely loving it, and I'm so excited to see how season 10 is going to end because there's so much going on. Each area itself is going back to different points in time. It's leading up to something to do with some sort of time travel, something from the past, maybe all the events combined into one. There's so much information regarding this at the minute that I am super hyped for it, and I'm sure a lot of you guys will be too, because we have got a lot of information regarding what is going to take place. Now the only information we actually have is obviously what is going on the map right now. We don't actually have any future information other than what I've been told by asking the Epic devs, Donald Mustard himself, and that was that they've already planned up to about season 13-14 when I asked the question. So assuming at that rate, that was a few months ago I asked that question, they're probably already at season 16 or 17, which I think would be extreme. But I don't know, I can't confirm that, but I know they've already planned 100% up to season 13. If it's going to be a new map or whatever, we don't know what's going to take place by then, by season 11, obviously, and then we've got all the other seasons to come as well. It's kind of interesting to see though, because obviously a lot of players have been moving from side to side. We've seen a lot of players go over to other games recently, especially some of the creators. That's something I just quickly want to mention, just a quick 30-second part in the video, just to talk about this a little bit. I feel like a lot of the big creators are being very negative towards Fortnite, but considering that Fortnite made them big, and Fortnite have invited them to several events, and Fortnite have also allowed them to kind of get featured as created art, like creative islands and stuff like that, and even on their Twitter, YouTube, all that sort of stuff, and they're just being so negative towards the game. I just don't understand why people do that. Like, personally, I will always have a place in my heart for Fortnite. I will always have a place in my heart for Minecraft, and I don't criticize them to that point. I will never ever do that unless I do feel that way, obviously, but that would have to be an extreme circumstance, and maybe these creators are feeling that. But personally, I don't believe it. I personally believe they're just doing this just to kind of get attention. Who knows? I'm not too sure what's going on with it, because a lot of creators recently, I understand streamers. I think streamers are allowed to say maybe they're not too much into the game as much because they play it all the time. But there's a lot of creators out there, I'm not going to name anyone, mainly the huge creators, the bigger ones, that always kind of put a negative shade on the game, but they don't really understand what they're saying because they don't actually play the game as much as, for example, streamers would, as I would. You know, it's one of them really. It's one of them debatable ones that people just follow the crowd, and that's what's kind of happening with it. But I understand that most of you probably watching this video are still loving my content, loving Fortnite, and we're just happy as a community. So that's really awesome. So thank you everyone who's been supporting the channel. Anyway, moving on to a few other information points to point towards regarding what's coming in tomorrow's update. We do also have the potential collaboration with it. Now, I've mentioned this a few times. I'm not really going to talk about it for too long because obviously there isn't really much you can say other than the laughs that we've heard in the files and the balloons. So that's it. That's all we've got so far. There's a bunch of recent clickbait which I've seen all over YouTube with people saying I'm going to get a free it skin. That is highly unlikely. If we do get an it skin, which again is extremely unlikely, but if it does happen, it won't be free to start with. There's so much going on at the minute with all that it clickbait. It's crazy. I log into YouTube every single day and I think, wow, is there actually going to be a free it skin? I click on the video and go, oh no, it's not happening. It's just like, what is going on? But yes, the it skin itself is not coming for free, as we know, and you know, they just never give free skins with these collaborations. So the only chance we're going to have at getting a free skin is if it's maybe something where you go to an event in real life and you get given a code for it. I don't think Fortnite have ever given out a free skin. Yes, they're giving out free gliders and free pickaxes, but skins, no. From what I know, they've never given out a free one unless you buy something else, go to an event or something like that, then you get access to a free skin potentially. It's not really free. You know, it's like one of them. It kind of is, but it's kind of not. But you get what I mean. So that's what I think towards that sort of stuff going on at the minute. Yeah, we could see it. It is a potential, but highly unlikely. There's like a 1% chance of that even taking place. And finally, we have the brand new trap being added into the game. Now, this trap looks absolutely awesome, and I can't wait to see it in action, because apparently this brand new trap can be placed on enemy structures, which I think would be a game changer for Fortnite, and I think a lot of people would enjoy that trap. The ability to put the Zapper Trap on different structures would be crazy, and it says here, danger, high voltage, trap them and zap them. So it's pretty obvious what it's going to do. It's going to zap people. Apparently the damage is extremely high on it as well. It's going to be a pretty OP trap, and potentially it may even be in your inventory slot, just like a weapon would be, if you're able to throw it, because that's a potential rumor as well. Now, obviously this is all subject to change when the update comes out. This is just what we've got from the in-game files. We don't actually know if this is going to be the case or not when the actual update releases. We can't 100% confirm how the Zapper Trap is going to work, but the ability to place on enemy structures sounds awesome. If they don't do that, I guess it will still be pretty cool, but it won't be as powerful. If you can place this on enemy structures, it'll be crazy. It'll be like a really overpowered weapon, and if you could even throw the trap, that would be really cool as well. The way that it would work, if that was the case, it would work just like the Porter Fort. So you'd throw it and it would kind of spawn in like the Porter Fort, and I think that would be awesome. It would obviously have to be tile related for it to work. Everything in Fortnite works in that grid system, as we know. So for the Zapper Trap to work as a throwable item, you'd have to obviously work in that grid system to get it to 100% work, which I think would still be awesome, and I think a lot of people would love that. Obviously, we know that all the traps already work in the grid system. There are some items that don't. None of the like placeable items like Porta Forts or the legendary Porta Fort that we saw, they like none of them actually don't work in the grid system. They all do. So the only items that don't are obviously like grenades and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see that grid system again maybe taking a big part with this trap. I'm excited to see how it's going to work. I can't wait to try it out tomorrow. I think it's going to be an epic rarity, so it'll be a little bit harder to find than the standard trap, but finally seeing a new trap being added into Battle Royale. It's been a while since we've had a actual usable trap that's been pretty good. We obviously had the dart one, I can't remember the exact name of the trap, that one. Then we had the freezer or the chiller trap, which was really awesome. I think that was so fun on some LTMs. You could really set up some cool trap tunnels, and I miss it. I really do. Like on some of the LTMs when we had all the traps in, setting up trap tunnels was so fun. It's a shame to see them take them out of the game. Bounce pads were amazing for build fights. They have been removed since, and if they were to be re-added, they'd change the entire meta entirely. I think bounce pads weren't that overpowered, so it'd be awesome to see them be added in again, but we'll have to wait and see. I guess it kind of was overpowered if you had 2 bounce pad and the enemy didn't, and you were both the same ability, and one could easily outbuild you because they can gain high ground a lot quicker. But again, I think they're quite fun, and they are a usable item, which I think would change the game up a lot. So hopefully we do see some stuff with that, and hopefully we do see a bunch more regarding upcoming traps maybe. I don't know, it's potential, because obviously in Save the World there are so many different traps. So hopefully Fortnite will add in a bunch more traps. This is it for me in today's video. If you guys are new around here, smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to go and enter in code postboxpat. I really do hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and once again, this is postboxpat signing out.